last question. Now this is a really important question. I need you to be very serious.
Right.
Are you ready?
Steady calling my phone. I done told you before that it's over. Leave me alone. No, it's hurting you to see me go.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
Hello.
So today we have a very special guest with us. This is Fareed. Fareed is a 4th year med student, and today I'm just going to ask Fareed some questions about med school, some study tips, and the plans he has for the School of Medicine, because he is running for the president of the School of Medicine. I'd love to see that. Alright, so let's start, Fareed. So you're a 4th year med student. How have you found the experience of med school so far, just generally?
Honestly, it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I love med school, and even though it is hard work and you have to do a lot of work into it, it's one of the most satisfying things ever.
Okay, nice to hear. So I know that in 3rd year you start becoming more independent in terms of seeing your own patients and stuff, which I find really cool because I'm a 1st year and I actually can't believe that in 3rd year that's going to be me. But anyway, the change is very exponential. How do you think you've grown from 1st year to 4th year?
I think I've grown a lot. So basically in 1st year I was really naive and I felt a bit lost, but as each year went by, like with the stress of medicine, I felt like I've grown as a person.
Right.
And I became more disciplined and more organized, and I feel like that was really helpful.
Okay, I wish that for all of us. In your opinion, how important is it to keep a good work-life balance?
That's one of the most important things you can do, guys, because if you don't have a good work-life balance, you're gonna get burnt out, and that's something that's really common in med school, which is burnout. So if you have any hobby, so in my case I have cycling,
okay.
and I cycle around Preston and Avenham Park, and I find that it's like a good stress reliever. So
right.
Make sure you have a hobby and maintain that work-life balance, or else you might burn out, and we don't want that.
Okay, so I'm super curious because you're a 4th year student. How often do you study? Like how many hours a day?
Well, in 4th year we have a lot of hospital placements, so I don't study on the weekdays. I actually learn a lot in the hospital, like there's consultants and doctors teaching you. So I learn in the hospital, but I don't study in the library until the weekends. So
okay.
During the weekends that's when I study. I study roughly 3 to 4 hours on the weekends, yeah.
Okay, and do you have a specific study technique that you'd like to share with us that you think is efficient?
Well, questions. I recommend questions because you know how like when you do PowerPoints you're like, yeah, I'll remember that. Yes. Your brain is lying to you, you're not going to remember that. So questions is a good way to sort of test your knowledge. You can know where your gaps are. So if you're doing, let's say, questions on neuroanatomy, and you do questions on GI,
right?
And if you score really well on GI but low on neuroanatomy, you know that, okay, neuroanatomy is my weak point, and you sort of
focus on that more.
So I recommend questions.
Thank you. And do you have any additional study tips that you'd like to share that helped you get through med school?
Yeah, so for phase 1 students I recommend Anki, so you can make your own questions and sort of revise that. So and so the 2nd phase of medicine, I usually do past medicine, so I answer questions like that.
Okay.
And also there's something called the Feynman technique. So basically, if you take a complex subject and if you can't explain it in simple terms to someone who doesn't understand medicine, or let's say to a 10-year-old,
right,
then you're probably not as good as you think you are in that subject.
Okay, that makes sense.
If you can simplify it, then it means you really understand the topic.
Oh, okay, amazing. So you're running for the president of the School of Medicine, which is amazing. Can you talk a little bit about what the role involves?
So basically, as school president, you sort of represent the voice of years 1 all the way up to years 5, and you work with the course reps to sort of get feedback from the years and their concerns, and feed that back to the School of Medicine and try to implement changes, so the way they deliver teaching or transportation and so on.
Okay, amazing. So as a 1st year, I know that I was extremely lucky to meet some 2nd years, some 3rd years, and basically other people in other years. Do you have any ideas on how you're going to help create a sense of community in all the years?
So hopefully when the restrictions go up, we'll create a sense of community through hobbies. For example, I know a lot of people like football, and 1st and 2nd year I play a lot of football with the medics, so There's currently the Medics FC that's been reinstated.
Right.
That will be reinstated, sorry,
Okay.
once the lockdown's lifted. I also plan on doing, for example, a basketball tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a lot of people like basketball.
Okay.
And hopefully with lockdown lifted, the MedSoc will have international night, med ball and so on.
Yes, I've
Reinstated.
heard about those. We missed it, so.
Yeah.
How are you going to maintain the balance of keeping up with med school and the duties of being a president?
That's a good question. So basically, in fourth year I have my finals, and then next year I no longer have finals. I only have my OSCEs, my SJT, and my prescribing exam. So the workload is way less on me, and
Right.
I'm able to focus more on the presidency.
Yeah.
And also this year in fourth year I'm part of the Impulse Society and also
Mhm.
the Trauma and Orthopedic Society.
Wow,
And I've
okay.
been able to sort of balance that out with being the course rep for my year too.
Oh, wow.
So I have experience sort of balancing out studying, extracurricular activities, and also doing my hobbies. So
Okay, so you're basically a pro at that. Okay. Is there anything you specifically really want to change as president that hasn't been brought up before or changed before?
yeah, so basically my most ambitious project as president is to have medical conferences held here in UCLan
Okay.
and sort of verify that with the CPD. So they're the organization that verifies the conferences.
Okay.
So you can get maximum amount of points for your CV when you apply for specialty training.
Mm-hmm.
So you can present your QI audit in UCLan rather than going all the way to London or Manchester, somewhere far. Why not? Why go there instead of do it here?
Right, okay.
So that's one of my main projects.
Okay, and last question. Now this is a really important question. I need you to be very serious.
All right.
Are you ready?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you watch Grey's Anatomy or House or any of those medical TV shows?
I watch House
Okay.
and I
Okay,
like it
guys.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah?
House. I
Okay.
recommend it to everyone. Watch House.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do then. You have 1 year left before you graduate medical school, and that's a huge achievement. How do you feel?
It's honestly it's amazing because like it's 5 years. You think it's a long time to
Yeah.
study 5 years, but it actually goes by really quickly. Like I still remember when I was the first year, and
Yeah.
like it felt like yesterday. So it will go by quickly. But I'm really excited, and I can't wait to be a doctor.
I can't wait to be in your position. Okay, so what's one motto or saying that sums up your med school experience?
Well, one motto I'd say is fake it until you become it. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Fake it, guys. Perfect. Okay, and do you have anything you'd like to say for those of us who just started med school?
Yeah. So I know that when you start first year, it's very overwhelming. I was the same too, but that's completely normal. Like, don't think that it's abnormal to feel overwhelmed. But with time, you sort of build the character to sort of tackle that, and also you have the years above you sort of as guidance. They can help guide you to what you need to do, and also you can always talk to me whenever you guys have any other issues.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Fareed. Unfortunately, that is it for today. If you have any questions for Fareed, I'm going to put his Instagram in the description below. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.